The history of chocolate cake goes back to 1746, when Dr. James Baker discovered how to make chocolate by grinding cocoa beans between two massive circular millstones. Until 1890, chocolate recipes were mostly for chocolate drinks, and its presence in cakes was only in fillings and glazes. In 1886, however, American cooks began adding chocolate to the cake batter to make the first ever chocolate cakes in the USA. Welcome back to our channel, my lovely bakers. Today we have a mouth-watering treat in store for you. We're going to make a delectable chocolate avocado cake. Yes, you heard it right, avocado in a cake. It's going to be a delightful fusion of flavors. So, let's get started. Before we dive into the recipe, let's take a look at the ingredients we'll need for a chocolate avocado cake. Now, here's what we're going to need. We're going to need 2 ripe avocados, and it's going to be mashed. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip on how to cut this avocados. You cut along the sides, like so. And then, to take out the pit, you just take your knife and smash it against the pit, the middle of it, and twist. You twist, and there's your pit, okay? Okay, now you're also going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of granulated flour, or if you are, like me, you're diabetic, you could also use stevia, okay? And then you can use, like I said, you could use stevia, okay? And then you need a half a cup of cocoa powder, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a cup of vegetable oil, okay? And 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, you can use regular milk, full fat, and then just add a tablespoon of either lemon or vinegar, white vinegar, and let it sit for about 5 minutes, and that will give you your buttermilk. Okay, and then you're gonna need 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, okay, and that is for your cake. Now for your frosting, we're gonna need another 2 avocados ripe. Make sure that they're ripe, and you're gonna mash these, okay? A 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and a 1/4 cup of stevia. You can also use honey. In fact, a lot of the recipes use honey, but of course for me, because I'm diabetic, we're gonna use stevia, brown stevia, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Now, and finally for garnish, we're going to be using some chocolate shavings, or you could use sprinkles, chocolate sprinkles, or you could use a chocolate bar and just shave that, and that's just for garnish, okay? And also, we're gonna need fresh berries. Again, you can use strawberries if you want. I'm using blueberries today. Whatever is in season. Now that we have all our ingredients ready, let's just jump into the preparation process, okay? Now, don't worry, it's easier than you might think. First, we're going to need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to be moving to our mixing board and start mixing our cake, okay? See you in a bit. Okay, so in a large mixing bowl, we're going to be whisking our flour, our sugar. Now again, if you can't have sugar like me, you can use stevia, and that's what I'm using today. So your stevia or your sugar, and your cocoa powder, now this is unsweetened, by the way. Your baking soda, baking powder, and salt. So we're going to be mixing this up a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna put our bowl up. We're gonna start mixing. Okay, now in a separate bowl, you're gonna cut your avocados in half, okay? And spoon it out into a bowl, and you mash it until it's smooth and creamy. Okay, now into our mixing bowl, with our dry ingredients, we're going to be adding our vegetable oil, our buttermilk. Okay, now at this point you can start mixing on low. Okay, and then we're going to add our eggs. And as you're mixing, you can scrape down your bowl so all your ingredients gets incorporated into your batter. And then we're going to add our vanilla extract. Okay. So we're going to keep mixing this until it's incorporated, until it's well combined. Now, next we have our prepared pans, our cake pans. These are 8-inch pans, and what you need to do is just make sure that it's greased and floured. Okay, just a couple more. And I think that's good. So we're going to stop this, and we're going to just scrape down the sides so everything is into our batter. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're going to pour the batter into our 2 prepared pans. Okay, and we're gonna place this in the preheated oven. Remember, we preheated our oven to 350 degrees, and we're gonna let this bake for about 30 minutes to 35 minutes. I like to let it bake for 30 minutes and then check it. Make sure that it's done. And the way to do that is if you insert a toothpick in and it comes out clean, then that should be done. Okay, and usually that's 30 minutes. If it's still a little bit wet or a lot wet, then put it in for 5 minutes more. You don't want to overcook this cake though, so make sure that even if it's just a little bit wet, it's okay. Because otherwise it'll turn out dry. Okay. So we're gonna put this into our pans. Now, once the cake is done, we're going to carefully remove it from the oven and you let it cool on a wire rack until it's ready to be frosted. Okay? So we're gonna put this in the oven and then we'll come back and do our frosting. Okay, so in a blender or food processor, we're going to make our frosting now. Okay, so we're gonna combine our ripe mangoes, or avocados, sorry. And remember that you need to mash your avocados until they're creamy and smooth, okay? So we're gonna add this to our pan. Okay. Next, we're going to put in our cocoa powder. Our stevia, brown stevia, and our vanilla extract. Okay, we're going to lift this up and pulse this slowly at first. Make sure that you scrape down your sides as you go. Okay, so you just make sure that as you go, you just scrape it down so it's nice and smooth. You really don't want lumpy frosting here. So as you go, you just kind of scrape it down, make sure that everything is incorporated. like I said, make sure that it's smooth. Okay, like this consistency. Okay. So now you just have to cool down your cake. You're going to slice your cake in half, make your layers, and you're going to spread your avocado frosting in between the layers and finish it off generously on top and sides. And you need to cover the whole surface with it, okay? And here's our cake. Now to add a little extra touch of decadence, you can sprinkle some chocolate shavings or even some chocolate sprinkles on top of it. You don't have to, you can be as elaborate as you want or just simple. Chocolate shavings is fine. And for a pop of freshness, we're going to add a little bit of fresh blueberries to our cake. There you go. Again, you can use any fruits you want. That's in season right now. I've seen a lot of strawberries and some raspberries. Really anything you want to do, you want to add to your cake is acceptable. Because chocolate goes with anything, right? So. Okay. And there you have it, our luscious chocolate cake. Okay, so thank you for joining me in another episode of Sunday Dinners with Tina. If you like our content, do me a favor and please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe so we can notify you when we upload new contents. And of course, I would love to hear from you. So if you have any requests or constructive criticisms, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. May your days be filled with love and laughter. And remember, when things are rough, all you need is chocolate. And as always, don't forget, when it comes to chocolate, resistance is futile. Happy baking, everybody. Bye.